The city of Ravenwood has always been known for its quiet and peaceful atmosphere, but everything changed when the dead began to rise from their grave. It all started with a single grave, the earth moving and groaning as it split, then again and again, until the earth began to shake with unholy force. The townspeople watched in horror as the walking dead appeared from cemeteries with glazed eyes and rotting skin. The townspeople tried to escape the siege of the undead, but they were quickly surrounded. The cemeteries seemed to come to life and claimed the city. The dead pressed in from all sides, their cold, grasping hands reaching out to the living. The townspeople resisted with all their might, but it was useless. The siege of the cemetery began, and there was no escape. When the last of the living fell, the dead returned to their graves. The earth closed over them as if they had never existed. The city of Ravenwood was silent again. The only sound was the whisper of the dead sinking into their eternal sleep. The siege of the cemetery was just the beginning. When the townspeople fell, their bodies joined the ranks of the undead. A more sinister force acted. It all started with a few strange incidents in cemeteries. Tombstones were found overturned, the ground disturbed, and the air filled with a putrid smell. But the townspeople considered it nothing more than the work of vandals or animals. It was only when the dead began to rise that they realized they were facing something much more sinister. The townspeople have always known that the cemeteries are haunted, but they never suspected that the spirits who linger there can have such power. As the days passed, the undead horde became stronger. The ranks were replenished by the recently deceased. The living barricaded themselves in their homes, but they knew that the breakthrough of the dead was only a matter of time. It was only when a group of brave survivors went to the cemetery they found out the truth. At the heart of the undead army was a powerful necromancer, a dark sorcerer who had been considered dead for a long time. The necromancer conducted dark experiments in cemeteries, using the bodies of the dead to fuel his power. He created a powerful artifact, a staff that allowed him to control the dead and raise an army of undead. The survivors knew that they had to destroy the necromancer and his staff if they had any hope of defeating the undead army. It was a risky journey, fraught with danger and death, but they kept going. In the end, they encountered a necromancer in the heart of the cemetery, and a fierce battle ensued. The survivors fought bravely, but they could not resist the dark magic of the necromancer. Just when it seemed that everything was lost, a young girl came forward. She was one of the townspeople who were presumed dead, but she managed to escape the capture of the necromancer. With a flick of her wrist, she smashed the staff, breaking the necromancer's grip on the undead. The dead fell to the ground, their bodies turned to dust, and the survivors won. The city slowly began to recover, but they knew that they would never be able to forget the horror that had befallen them. From that day on, cemeteries were treated with respect, and the townspeople never forgot the power that the dead could unleash. The siege of the cemetery may have ended, but the memory of it will haunt them for many years.